What's up guys, Brennan back here and today I have another video on the channel, and today we are reviewing The Batman. Yes, the latest DC superhero movie to come out. Yes, been very much excited and anticipating this movie, and it's finally here. Now, of course, I actually saw it. I was already had like plans and booked tickets to see it on Saturday. Hey, but I actually managed to see it this Wednesday, just the one from yesterday, because my dad was going. He's going out of town, but he wanted to see the movie, try and see it before he left for about a week. And so he saw them. He managed to get a ticket for Wednesday somehow. I'm not sure, which is a miracle. But I felt bad and didn't want him to go see it by himself. So I decided we tried to see if I could go with him, and I managed to get a seat still for me as well. And I went with him, and I saw it on yesterday. Of course, now Thursday when you're seeing this. So yeah, I saw it. It was for a fan event thing, which was actually pretty cool. I've never been to I've been to midnight releases for movies in the past, but never been to a fan event thing where it's 2 days before the official release. So I thought that was pretty cool. So with that being said, this is I saw it's a 2 days before it officially comes out. This will be a non-spoiler review entirely for the movie. This will just be a normal strip review where I just get my general thoughts on the movie. I'll do a spoiler video later on for a separate Geek Culture Talk one instead. So, but this will just be my general thoughts on the movie. I will not do any spoilers. In case I do accidentally give a spoiler that I did not intend to, I might just censor it. So if you hear a censor beep, that's why. So yeah, here are my thoughts on the Batman movie. So in all honesty, and maybe when I see it on Saturday, I might pick out some other stuff that changes the opinion. I don't know, but I absolutely love this movie. I couldn't find a thing I had an issue with. Really honestly, again, like I said, if I see it on Saturday when I do, maybe I'll find something, but honestly, watching the whole movie, I'm there were parts of the time where I'm maybe I'm not gonna like this, but then they didn't do, there were times where I thought they were gonna do something that was maybe I was gonna like, or they did do something that I wasn't gonna like, but after it was all said and done, I'm oh yeah, actually, you know what, no, actually, that was actually good, I like that. So I was honestly, I didn't really have any problems, and if there are any issues I had, they're the most insignificant nitpick kind of things, which really don't tamper my experience of the whole movie. Honestly, I really loved it. It's I don't know. It's one of the best Batman movies they have made. Honestly, up there with Dark Knight, Keaton's Batman '89, or some of the animated ones like Mask the Phantasm or Under the Red Hood. It's really good. There's a lot to in this movie. Of course, the movie takes inspiration from the comics and different elements. As I watched the movie, there were a lot of stuff I saw, some inspiration from different things. Of course, one thing in particular it took some inspiration from was the Long Halloween storyline, which Matt Reeves has talked about, who directed the film. He said he used this book as a template to kind of give some inspiration and base the movie off a little bit. And also don't worry, it's not a strip. If you've read the book or seen the animated film, the 2-part animated film they did just past year, the film is not a strip adaptation of this story at all. It takes there are certain, if you've read the book or seen the animated films, you'll definitely notice some you'll definitely recognize some bits from the story in the movie, but it's not an adaptation at all. It's just some small little general stuff. Most of the major players from the book are not in the film. A lot of story beats are not here. This book takes place across over an entire year. The movie takes place across over a week, so it's not a straight up adaptation of this book. But yeah, if you have read it or seen the film, you'll notice a lot of points from the story in the film, or just some general stuff from the book in the movie. So you'll recognize some stuff. Is what I'm trying to say. So yeah, and also if you have not read this book, I definitely recommend reading it. Read this before seeing the animated movie. This is it's a great book. I definitely recommend seeing this. Reading this, not seeing this. But yeah, so you'll recognize some stuff from the book when you see the movie. But also some other stuff I know some inspiration from. There's some Year One stuff I saw a little bit with Bruce Wayne in the movie. But even more so than that, I also saw a little, for me at least, I saw a little bit of inspiration or similar stuff to the Telltale Batman game, which is probably the first thing I think a lot of people will think of immediately as bits. But there's some stuff in the movie. I'm not saying there's they took direct inspiration from that game, because they didn't. But there was some stuff I saw. Batman and Catwoman kind of remind me a bit of the game, their relationship, or some other kind of character and some other history things from the game. There's some good stuff with it. So there's stuff remind me of the Telltale game base. Not a whole lot, just like some small little stuff I thought, oh, that kind of reminds me of the game. But yeah, so much of inspiration from those kind of stuff I noticed in the movie. But the movie itself, like, I mean, our Batman himself, Robert Pattinson, is fantastic. He probably my favorite live action Batman. Honestly, I mean, honestly, I before thought Ben Affleck was probably the best one. I mean, he didn't have a lot of the best material to work with, and I thought he was really good in Batman v Superman and had a great costume and everything. Pattinson, I think, does it even better. Like, also, like, watching him, the first, like, 5 minutes, I mean, the first 5 minutes of the movie overall sold me on it, and, like, in Pattinson in particular, like, the suit, first of all, looks great. He looks great in the suit, and, like, his Batman voice and, like, his demeanor and betrayal, like, it just felt very authentic and true to Batman. I thought it was very good. You know, just those 5 minutes overall just sold me in the movie, just, like, the atmosphere and tone and, like, just showing kind of the way this Gotham looks. Like, it really much showed me. And the imagery, like, just, that first 5 minutes just sold me on the movie immediately. Like, I feel like a lot of people maybe go see the movie, you'll see those first 5 minutes and be like, damn, yeah, I'm gonna like this. I mean, the first 5 minutes kind of sucked me in the movie a little bit, though, when I watched it, because there were, not even a couple, there were several people that were showing up late to the movie, which, like, it was ridiculous. Like, both me and my dad were getting annoyed. We were like, okay, come on, this is ridiculous. Like, people, like, there were, like, so many people, like, walking in front of us in the first 2 rows, blocking the view, with their phones flashing their lights. Like, not too many people with their phones flashing lights, but still, a couple people were flashing their phone lights, and, like, I was just like, guys, come on, like, you knew the movie started at this point in time, we should have gotten here sooner. Like, why 5 minutes in, there's still people coming? It was like, so I'll see it on Saturday. I'll be able to enjoy that 5 minutes better again. So, but yeah, honestly, Pattinson was just great. You know, he did great as his Bruce Wayne was good too, but that Batman was definitely really solid. Like, I definitely, like, really, you could see the Batman in that portrayal. It was fantastic. I mean, the whole cast of the movie is fantastic. I mean, everyone sold me. Even the people I didn't think, I wasn't quite sold on when they first announced their casting. Like, Andy Serkis was the one I kind of thought was a weird choice for Alfred at first. But even seeing the movie, I'm like, oh, no, I get it. I actually like him. I get what they're going with. He's very much more like Earth 1, Alfred. Very much more, feels a bit more like he's had military experience and, like, the kind of fighting stuff. He's like, a bit more rough a little bit. He has, like, scar on his eye, and so, like, or up here around the eye. So, it's reminded me of that. He's pretty good. But, like, everyone else in the movie is fantastic. Like, Zoe Kravitz, you know, very much, that's where some of the Year One inspiration I saw came from. Like, she's very much, some inspiration from Catwoman in that book came in through here. And her performance is great. Like, she's both, like, has, like, a ferocity to her, but, like, a warm heart kind of, like, charm to her. Like, she's, like, sensitive, but also aggressive. Like, she worked flawlessly, I think. She definitely had the essence of Catwoman instant Kyle Down. You know, Jeffrey Wright's great as Gordon. Like, he's also, again, he's tough, but, like, also has a kind heart as well. He was great. You know, Colin Farrell's the Penguin is, you know, he was great. Honestly, this movie next year should definitely win for get an Oscar, or not, at least get an Oscar nomination for best makeup and such. Because, like, again, like, I mean, we've all talked about how great the makeup looks on Penguin and such for him. But, like, at the end of the movie, when the credits showed his name with Colin Farrell, my dad was like, Colin Farrell was in the movie? And I'm like, yeah, he was Penguin. He had no clue the entire time it was Colin Farrell. Like, which I'm like, they should win or get nominated for Oscar at least next year, because they look great. And Penguin, like, again, he had a lot of stuff, like, he was very much similar to Penguin you would see in a lot of the current stuff from, like, the Arkham games, or the comics where he runs the Esper Lounge and all these kind of things, kind of this, like, mob kind of dude. But also reminded me a bit more of I had some elements that remind me of the Batman cartoon Penguin from, like, 2004, which is a great cartoon, underrated. That Penguin, he was kind of goofy, but, like, in a fun way. So this Penguin had some fun, goofy moments too, with him, like, yeah, it's kind of reminded me of that. And I think he did very good. I really liked his take on the Penguin. Paul Dano also was the Riddler. He's, you know, the Riddler very much inspired, has some elements of the Zodiac Killer in him. You know, he's light years better than Jim Carrey's Riddler. And I just watched Batman Forever just recently again, rewatched it. And, I mean, of course, there's no comparison between Dano and Carrey's Riddler. They're wildly two different interpretations. But Dano was great, like, both, like, just, you know, he was both, like, had this kind of nutty, like, weird, like, kind of betrayal, but also, like, he was definitely intimidating and creepy. Like there's definitely some shots in the movie that are like pretty intimidating. Like if you're in that setting, you'd be kind of creeped out too. I'm like, oh damn, like you would be a little bit disturbed. But yeah, he was great in the movie. I love his portrayal. Like I said, like honestly, I loved everyone's portrayal in the movie. Everyone did great. And John Turturro was Carmine Falcone. He was also quite good. You know, just a lot of great performances in the movie. Visuals and cinematography is also another thing I really liked in the movie. You know, like it all looked gorgeous. Like Gotham very much felt like actually literally looked like a gothic kind of, not like goth, like how like kind of similar I guess to Keaton's Batman, where you know it had a very distinct look. So does this one a little bit. You know, and I thought even like stuff like Wayne Manor has a very distinct look to it, and like the Iceberg Lounge, they have all like, these very distinct looks. So I'm like, man, they're all really great looking. And in the story, I guess I'll go quickly into the story without going too much into spoilers. Of course, you know, Riddler being a very Zodiac killer-like person, he's killing off some, you know, certain people, and there's a big mystery behind it, some conspiracies and everything, and this really, I really guess all I can say, but like, you know, Batman, Gordon, the cops are all trying to figure out, and Catwoman gets wrapped up into it, and everything. You know, I really can't say much about going to spoilers in the story, I guess, but like, it's a mystery story, and you know, the movie is like 2.5 hours long, but I think it works really well because like if it's a mystery, I like that it's long because it helps let that mystery go out and play out longer, more, build up some things, and also gives a lot of good character moments in the movie. So like with with Bruce and Selina, or Bruce and Gordon, or Bruce and Alfred, all this stuff. As I'll say, Batman and Gordon in this movie is the best portrayal of that relationship I've seen. You know, there's not much to go off on. Like we had the ones from the older ones with Keaton and the Schumacher ones. Gordon in that movie wasn't great. Gary Oldman was great. Like I don't know if I like more Gary Oldman or Jeffrey Wright's performances as Gordon yet. But yeah, and Gordon and Batman were great in the Dark Knight trilogy too. But in this one more so, we really see how usually they are in the comics. So like they're a very close. Like they're both two like trusting individuals. They both like of course Gordon doesn't know who Batman is, but he trusts him and puts his trust in him. And you see in the movie, he really is like all in on Batman. Knows like we need this guy in the city. Like and the others don't see it, but I understand. I see it. And their relationship just feels so good and so like they've been working together for like about a year. I think they said in the movie, but like they feel like they really trust each other. And it really works. They really are just connecting the movie. That relationship, I feel like, you know, what's another thing? Action's also pretty great. Like, you know, unlike a lot of superhero movies, and it's not really a problem I have with them where, you know, especially with Marvel films, and there are times that is a problem with some of the Marvel stuff where, you know, there's a lot of fast cutting where it's like here's a shot of the person being, like when someone gets punched, you'll see like 3 angles being cut back and forth and punching. Like, it's not a problem for me majority of the time. Sometimes it is a problem, like there was a fight in Civil War between Bucky and Winter Soldier when they first meet where it was really jumpy, cutty, and like, so sometimes it is a problem, but like, so, and as other critiques some people have too with a lot of superhero movies. Here it's not like that. Like, here, a lot of the fights, they give proper long shots and like have maybe like 1 or 2, like an appropriate amount of cuts in the fights to show different shots, but like appropriate enough to where it's not too distracting. You really see and let the action just play out normally, like let it do its thing. Like it's vicious. Batman's vicious. Like he really gets nailed on some people, just like whacking them with the ends of guns and like shocking them and like just really beating on them with their, like, God, Batman, like I feel like you lock someone in a room with Keaton, Affleck, and Pattinson now, like you don't want me in a room with them. Like, again, like this Batman was also only 2 years into his career. They established that, and of course his costume is still very pre-rudimental, like just stuff like, of course, he can take his the bat symbol off his chest and use it for stuff, and he has like his grappling hooks attached to his wrist to kind of, which I mean, like cool detail. You can just whip it out and use it like that quickly. But yeah, and like of course it's very much more fabric and soft, not. And there is armored still, but of course you see it's a bit more put together and a little bit jagged in some areas. Like it really works. Like but he's still vicious. So, but other great action, like there's stuff with like, you know, there's the Batmobile chase sequence that we saw in the trailers, which like it's a really great chase sequence. Like it's not like it's grand, but not on a grand scale like you've seen in some other car chase sequences in other superhero movies, like ones in, I don't know, I guess Black Panther or Civil War, or what's another one I'm trying to think of right now that has a car chase. Can't think of one right now. But you know what I mean, there's a lot of car chase sequences in a lot of superhero movies, and they're a lot of times very big explosion and everything. and there's explosions in the car chase sequence if you see the trailer, but like it feels a grand, but on a small scale grand, like an appropriate amount, and like it really feels great. And like there's some cool stuff, and I don't recall seeing a lot of car chase sequences, so I feel like it was really well handled. I thought it was just really sick, and seeing the Batmobile maneuver and doing all that stuff, like it was really crazy. So yeah, I thought that was all pretty sick. Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think of something else I can talk about that's not like spoiler heavy. What's something else I can mention? You know, another thing also I guess I can say about the story. The story does have kind of this character study of Batman. It's not like a massive character study where it's like we're really analyzing him, but like there's a lot of stuff where you see at the start of the movie that's like kind of mentioned in the trailers, but you see he's very much just completely in on the Batman stuff. He doesn't really much care about Bruce Wayne. It's stuff in the trailers he mentions. He doesn't really care. He said in one of the trailers doesn't care what really happens to him. Like you see, he's just all in on this vigilante stuff. He does not care really much about his other life as Bruce. And you see kind of like that kind of psyche with him and how he acts towards that, acts with both the personalities and like, you know, and we see him go through kind of this journey in the movie. It's like, and it's really well done. Like just it's great. So yeah, I don't know. I'm just trying to think. Like once again, when I do a spoiler video, I'll be able to talk a little bit more about some other stuff. But yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of great stuff. I'm trying to think of like, man, it's hard when I'm not doing any spoiler stuff because like it's hard to think of some other stuff to say. Yeah. Oh yeah, soundtrack. That's another thing that's great. I mean, of course, you have some licensed songs in there, like the one we heard from the first trailer. I forget what it's called now, but of course the main theme that Michael Giacchino, I think that's how you pronounce his last name, composed. Fantastic. Like every time you hear it, it's just like it's great. Or it's just like bum 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 bum. It's a fantastic theme. Like continuing the long tradition of fantastic Batman scores. You know, he's doing Danny Elfman and Hans Zimmer, all of them proud, and Shirley Walker, who did the animated series themes as well. And I don't know who did the 66 themes, but no, he did a great job. The theme is like, I mean, when I first heard the trailer, I'm like, this is a sick theme, and still hearing it, like I'm not tired of it. It's just it's so simple, just like that bum bum chords, but like it sounds so epic. Just the build up of the theme, it's great. There's a lot of, I don't know, I could go on. I can't really. I'm trying to avoid spoil, but there's a lot of great stuff here. I really enjoyed it. So, I'm not sure if there's a quick review or not. So hopefully, I don't know. I'll see in the edits. But yeah, honestly, and you know, the movie, it ends where it's like the stuff I don't know, it ends just, it really satisfied me by the end. I'm like, by the end I was like, I didn't want it to end, but it was like, I was good. I was like, this was a solid movie. It was great, you know, and you know, there's nothing after the credits, by the way, if anyone's wondered that. There's nothing, I mean, there is, but there's not like an actual, like, proper after credits scene, nothing that teases another storyline or movie, like, nothing like that. It was like, there's a little minor thing if you want to stay to the end of the credits to see what it is. It's like, it's fun. It's a nice little thing to kind of like the book and the movie, I guess. But yeah, it's not necessary. I do recommend seeing because it's a nice little just quick fun thing. But it's nothing like major for like sequels or whatever. It's nothing like that. But yeah, I think I'm talking about everything I possibly can. If I forget something, I'll do it in I'll talk about it again when I do my spoiler video. But yeah, my thoughts on the movie, just everything was amazing. I honestly, like I said, I can't say it. Might be, I have to give it a 10 out of 10. Like I honestly cannot think of a real problem I have. Like I said, minor nitpicks, like at best, maybe like even then, like I'm not sure like how minor they are. They might be even more minor than that, like really insignificant. Because like I just didn't really have any problems. Honestly, I didn't. Like it's just kind of a really perfect, solid movie for me that I'll definitely enjoy. You know, I got some cool stuff out of the theater. Also got like the bucket with this kind of popcorn tin, looks pretty cool. Yeah, getting good views on it. I hope so. Yeah, I got the collector cup also. You gotta look at this stuff. It's cool. Look at Batman. Look how sick he is. And just there he is. You gotta get the stuff. It's cool. So yeah, I think I was the first person to actually purchase stuff at my theater because like when they gave this to me, it came like wrapped around this kind of like in this plastic thing. So I think it was fresh out like the back. So that's cool. But yeah, honestly, 10 out of 10. So yeah, you'll stay tuned for my spoiler review. It will come out some point when I decide to make it. But yeah, overall, I really enjoyed the movie. It was solid, amazing. Just, I cannot wait to watch again, which will be soon, in like 2 days when you're seeing this, 2 days from now for me. So, yeah. Cannot wait to watch it again. I highly recommend going to check it out. And, yeah, thank you all for watching. Check out The Batman. It's a fantastic movie, 10 out of 10. And, yeah, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys all later. Goodbye. Oh yeah, and when you do see the Batman movie, tell me in the comments section down below what you thought of it. And of course, be mindful of spoilers. Don't spoil it for anyone in the comments. So, yeah, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys all later. Goodbye. Hey, if you liked that video, guess what? YouTube put out a video just for you on the left. Or, if you want to take my advice, watch the most recent video on the right. Thanks for watching.